The new boy. The school bell rang and whispers filled the hallway. A new boy had joined the class. He wore simple clothes, carried an old backpack, and spoke softly with an accent. His name was Omar. To everyone else, he looked like another poor refugee, quiet, humble, out of place. Some students sneered. They whispered, "He probably came from a camp. Look at his shoes." But Omar didn't react. He smiled gently and took his seat in the back corner of the class. They didn't know that his old backpack once rode in the back seat of a Rolls-Royce, and that the boy they mocked was, in truth, the Prince of Dubai, a young royal who had left his palace to live 1 year as an ordinary student. The bullying begins. Omar tried to fit in. He helped with homework, joined group activities, and greeted everyone with "Assalamu alaikum." But instead of kindness, he received laughter. They called him the poor refugee. They pushed his books off the table, spilled water on his lunch, and one day they even took his prayer cap and threw it in the trash. The teacher noticed, but said nothing. To them, Omar was invisible. But he wasn't angry. He only whispered, "Allah knows." Every insult only made him stronger, because deep down he knew humility reveals who people truly are. The call home. That night, Omar sat in his small apartment. He video-called his father, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum. The room behind his father shimmered with gold and marble, but Omar's side showed cracked walls and dim light. His father smiled. "My son, have they learned to see beyond your clothes yet?" Omar sighed. "Not yet, Baba, but I will teach them with patience." His father nodded, proud. "Remember, a prince is not defined by his crown, but by his character." The breaking point. Days turned into weeks. The bullying worsened. They tore his notebook, mocked his accent, even filmed him praying. Then one day in the cafeteria, one boy poured juice over his head. Laughter echoed through the hall. Omar stood still, drenched, trembling slightly. He said nothing. He simply picked up his bag and walked out. But the bullies didn't know. That moment had been recorded. And his bodyguards, who watched him from afar, had seen enough. The arrival. The next morning, luxury black SUVs lined up outside the school. Men in suits and earpieces stepped out, calm, disciplined, silent. The principal rushed outside in confusion. Then Omar stepped out of one of the cars, this time wearing a formal white kandura and gold-trimmed gutra. Gasps filled the air. One of the guards whispered, "His Highness Prince Omar Al Maktoum of Dubai is here for a private visit." The bullies froze. Their eyes widened as realization struck. The revelation. In the principal's office, the bullies sat pale and silent. Omar entered quietly. He looked at them, not with anger, but calm authority. He said softly, "I didn't come here to expose you. I came to learn what it means to be ordinary." Then he looked at the principal, "And I learned that kindness costs nothing, but reveals everything." No one spoke. The silence in the room was heavier than any punishment. The transformation. After that day, the entire school changed. Students began sitting with others they once ignored. The same bullies now greeted him with respect. Omar never bragged about who he was. He still helped in class, prayed in silence, and treated everyone with the same humility. People learned that the boy they mocked had more honor in his heart than wealth could ever buy. The Prince's Lesson. On his last day, Omar stood in front of the class and said, "Don't judge people by what they wear or where they come from. Every soul carries a story you know nothing about." Then he left the school, and the legend of the poor refugee became a lesson that would be told for generations. As his car drove away, students watched in silence, and for the first time, they understood what true royalty meant.